It's been too long. This video has been a long time coming. Let's get it.
Shutting haters up, feel like Kobe Bryant. Ring on every finger, feel like Kobe Bryant. I'll be selling out arenas, feel like Kobe Bryant. All time great, I feel like Kobe.
What is up, guys? It's Doug, and today we are going to be reviewing Redemption by J-Rock. I have probably taken way too long to make this video, but you guys are getting it. So, again, I have not received my new speaker yet, so it is just a review. We cannot do a reaction to this album. I should have my speaker by the end of this month, so at the end of this month we'll be right back to what we used to be doing. Been working hard though. I know I'm posting less videos, but that's because, again, a lot of stuff is going on. I'm helping a couple friends move. I'm working more on production. I've got some really fire beats. I might post a little snippet right now. Let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking of that snippet, if you guys think it's fire. And yeah, we're not going to waste any time. Give the video a like, subscribe if you have not subscribed yet to the channel. We would love to have you in our family. Our goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I think that right now, with my current schedule, the way that it is, I'm going to be posting twice a week, but we'll be able to ramp that back up once I get the new speaker and we have a little bit more time to actually react to the video, react to the albums. It's much faster to make videos that way. Hit me up on all my social media, and yeah, all the links that you guys might need to the playlist that I'm going to be mentioning in this video, all the links, all in the description, and let's get into this review. So, Redemption by J-Rock, track 1 is the bloodiest, and I didn't really know what to expect with this project. I had never heard a J-Rock project previous to this. I thought we were going to get some old school hip hop, but this track really kind of set the tone for the rest of the album. I thought it was a really cool intro. The production was great. The sample that they used for it, I'm not sure if it was a sample, but it was fire. You know, his flow, his lyrics, on point. It was really dope. None of these tracks were too long, so this intro was nice, short, sweet, really cool. They have a couple of chords in the background that really add to the song. I thought the production was great. It's a really cool song. I put it on my playlist, which means I thought it was fire, so that's what I thought about the intro. Then we go on to track 2, For What It's Worth. And immediately, as soon as the track starts, we get this really soulful sample, and I'm already feeling it because I love a good sample on a track. Especially when it's soulful and it feels old school. It's a slower track. We get some really cool drums. It's definitely a song to vibe to. It's a smoother hip-hop song. I wouldn't even say it goes into the realm of R&B. It's still definitely hip-hop. It's just smooth. The sound, it really takes me somewhere. I really enjoy when songs have this sound. And I absolutely love the sound that they used in this song, the whole vibe to it, the whole mood. I thought it was fantastic. One criticism that I have for this track definitely is that I thought it could use some keys, you know, over the beat, just to add a little bit more to the melody, a little bit more over the top, because the bass is smooth, you know, everything going on in the background of the track is great. I just feel like a couple of melodies, a couple keys over the top really would have done wonders for this track. But overall, I thought it was cool. I enjoyed it. Nothing incredible, but also definitely a good track. Like, it's not bad, it's not okay. I would definitely say this is a really good song. It's definitely one of those tracks that you just ride to. You know, put this in the car and ride around to it. I love music like that. Track 3 is Knock It Off. I thought that this beat was awesome. I love the melodies that they used over the top. See, the last track, I thought they could use some more. This track, I loved what they did with it. I loved the beat. I thought the bass line came in a little too late. I feel like the beginning of the beat kind of sounded a little plain in the bass area of the song, in the lower frequencies. But the bass did come in eventually, which is cool. I thought this beat was great. His flow, his delivery in this track is absolutely fantastic. One thing that I thought really throughout this entire project was how every single track kind of felt different from the last one, and his performance always matched the beat perfectly. His flow is always switched up just to fit perfectly with the beat. His performance, his delivery, he's more aggressive on the harder tracks, he's more smooth and mellow on the slower tracks. Again, I thought that his performance in this album was perfect. Really, there was no track where I wasn't feeling his delivery, where I thought his delivery wasn't doing well with the beat. So that's definitely something to be said for this project, is his performance. A1, definitely great. And yeah, this track, really smooth, kind of mellow, and again, a lot of these tracks are within that 3 to 3 minutes and 30 range, so it was nice and quick. It doesn't get old, it doesn't get boring. Again, another good song, not great, but definitely not okay or bad. And it just flows right into the next song, which is ES Tales. Now, this track, we get a little bit of a boom bap feel from the drums, but we get this really crazy saw bass line that really adds to the creativeness of the beat. We get a couple of video game sound effects. Overall, in general, this beat, what I would use to describe it is definitely creative. It doesn't sound like any of the previous tracks. Again, J-Rock's flow on this track is incredible. You know, he really does a great job with his performance on all of these different beats. That being said, I wouldn't really say that the beat is incredible. Creative is good, but I'm still iffy on it. The beat's probably going to have to grow on me a little bit because of the sound that they used for the bass. Part of me thinks it's a little harsh, part of me thinks that it fits just fine with the beat, so I do have to take a couple listens more to this track to find out whether I really like the production or not. But creative, again, is a great start. It's awesome that he chose this beat, that it's different, that it sounds fresh, it sounds new. I thought that was great. This song, that being said, I'm sure in the car, when you put it on, that bass line is going to be just super fun to just bump with your friends and just play it as loud as you can and ride to it. It's going to be a blast. So that's what I thought about that track. Track 5 is Rotation 112th. Now, this track is definitely made to be played in a car, loud as possible, full of people, and just everybody screaming this hook. This hook is super catchy. This beat is so wavy. The flute melodies are awesome. You can just ride to it, bump it, scream out the lyrics. It's absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed this song. It's also on my playlist. His delivery is so great on the verses, on the hook, getting a little more aggressive and then going into a little more smooth delivery. Fantastic. And this hook, the more you listen to it, the better it is, the better it gets. It's going to get stuck in your head. You're not going to be able to stop singing it. It's a really fun track, and I really enjoyed it. Then we get track 6, Tap Out, featuring Jeremiah, who has a great feature. I absolutely loved his performance on this song. I definitely felt like it was necessary for this track. I thought he did great. This beat is fantastic to ride to. I mean, this beat is just so wavy. It really, you just want to put it on in the car and just go anywhere, you know, listening to this track. I thought it was a really cool track. I thought it was smooth. I thought it was enjoyable. Again, nothing too incredible, but definitely not just okay. This is a good song. All of these tracks were either good or great. None of them. I wasn't like, on any of these tracks. All of them I thought were really good or better than that, you know. I thought this project overall was great, so I really enjoyed this track. Jeremiah features are always nice. It'd been a while since I heard from him, so it was really cool to hear him on a track again. Vocals are smooth as always, and very nice production on this track. Then we get to track 7, OSOM, Out of Sight, Out of Mind, featuring J. Cole. This is my favorite track on this project. It was my favorite as soon as it started, as soon as I started listening to it, and then every other track I had to verify whether it was still up there and up to par as my favorite, and definitely this one is my #1 track off this project. Anybody who has not listened to it, definitely go check this out. It is 5 minutes of music, but you don't even notice the time passing. The beat is incredible, the guitars and the bass line are so smooth. Again, it is another ride around song. Put this on in the car and just listen to these two incredible lyricists, incredible artists flow on this beat. This beat is as wavy as it gets, honestly, and I wouldn't be surprised if J. Cole had production credits on it. Let me know if he does, because, again, this is one of my favorite beats off this project. One thing I thought was cool is that J-Rock's flow is different in this track than it is in all the other ones. I mean, it's one thing that he did really well on this project. I never got bored of his flow. You know, there was always something special about it. There were always something different about it, every single track. And the flow that he used on this beat, I thought it was great. I thought that he really outdid himself. I think that maybe being in the studio with J. Cole, I don't know if they actually recorded this in the same studio, but being on the same track as J. Cole, if he was in the same ambience as him, maybe that provided, you know, some extra creativity to him or something like that. But I just thought the flows used by these two were phenomenal. J. Cole's performance, fantastic as always. I think he performs a little bridge in there also. I'm definitely not mad at him singing a little bit on that bridge. Fantastic track. I absolutely love J. Cole's feature. I love J. Cole's flow. I love to hear J. Cole on these beats, man. Really, just wavy, Boblo Boat-ish, Jermaine interlude-ish. wavy, smooth beats. Not enough good things to say about it. Track 8 is King's Dead featuring Future and that infamous feature. So I had heard it already because of the Black Panther soundtrack. I skipped it. I do not want to hear that song again. I listened to it one time and I feel no impulse to go back and listen to it. Just not feeling it. Track 9 is Troopers. Immediately, the melody that they used for this beat stands out to me. It is fantastic. It's super wavy. I really dig it. I think that when J-Rock puts a little bit of auto-tune in his voice and kind of does this Drake-ish talking / singing thing, it really works. It sounds fantastic. I really enjoyed it. His performance on this. When he does the hook, when he does his verses. I think a little bit of auto-tune, I think it sounds great. It sounds nice. You know, he does great on this track. This beat is definitely very wavy. I feel like something that would have made this track amazing and really a standout track would have been to add a Travis Scott feature on this track. Can you guys imagine that? Listen to this song the next time you go back and listen to it and just picture Travis Scott doing a verse on this track. It would be absolutely incredible. He changed his flow again. His delivery fits very well with the beat. Really nice listening to him on this song. It's definitely a standout track for me. Definitely a track that I would not be skipping, you know, after I listened to OSOM, skip King's Dead, and definitely letting this one play all the way through. I really enjoyed this track. The best way to listen to this track would be in the car with your friends, riding around. Everybody just jamming to it. It's probably the best way to listen to this. It's a very solid track in my opinion. Then we get into track 10, Broke Plus Minus. I think that's how you say the name of this track. Starts off with a very dark piano over the beat and I really love it. I think that the piano sounds great. I really enjoy the ambience that it adds, the whole mood, the feeling that it adds to this track. I love it. This beat, when it plays out and you're listening to the production side of it, it just feels super cinematic. It feels so emotional. It's almost like it's telling a story and it's like by itself. You can hear a couple of strings at some points. The piano, again, just feels so dark, so moody. It definitely provides an atmosphere to this track. It's almost somber. It's dark. It's definitely something that's really, really cool to listen to. I thought it was really cool how on the hook he makes the word broke into an acronym and every letter stands for something. I thought that was a really creative way to approach it. This track definitely feels kind of old school and with the flow, and I really enjoyed it. And again, it's another very nice, quick song. Just let it play all the way through and it just goes right on to the next one. I thought that was a great thing about this project, is that no song feels too long. We get right into track 11, Wild Freestyle, featuring Kendrick Lamar himself. And I thought it was funny. I'm listening to it on Spotify and I go back and I see like the number of plays that each song has, and all the songs are like 1 million, 2 million. I think the intro track has 3 million plays, and then you get into this track and it's like Kendrick Lamar feature, 5 million plays, you know, 7 million plays. I think Win with the Kendrick Lamar ad-libs has 12 million plays. So like crazy what Kendrick Lamar on a track from another TDE artist can do for the plays that it gets. This beat is awesome. Of course Kendrick Lamar flows crazily over this beat. Kendrick Lamar's features are always great. It's been a while since I've heard a Kendrick verse that I was like, on, you know what I mean? But I definitely really enjoyed his feature on this track. I definitely put this one on my playlist. I think that this is one of the better tracks off this project. I wrote down OSOM is still my favorite, but this one is definitely up there. Thought it was a great track. Track 12, Redemption featuring SZA. This is probably a standout track for me because of the way it sounds, the feel that it has to it, the R&B feel. It definitely feels way smoother than all the other tracks, which really makes it stand out. The SZA feature is incredible. She does the hook and she sounds amazing on it. SZA's voice is one of my favorites right now to listen to. I really enjoy the whole vibe to this track. They use some type of vocal instrument over this really soulful chord progression that just sounds incredible if you go back and listen to this track. I think this is probably my second favorite track, or third favorite behind Win, but definitely in my top 3 tracks on this project. I loved this track. One thing I will say, the beat is fantastic, but I do wish that when they mixed it, they made J-Rock's voice a little bit louder, just a little bit, because at some points during his verse it kind of gets a little bit drowned out by the vocal instruments and stuff like that. So just make it a little bit louder. I would have loved that. But I think his verse was fantastic. He was reflecting a lot in these verses, actually. A very nice introspective feel to what he was saying. I thought it was a fantastic song. And one little detail that a lot of people might not have caught. It's okay if you did, it's okay if you didn't. And I'm sure that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that was totally obvious to me, but some people might not have caught that during the hook, Kendrick Lamar does a little bit of some background vocals. And it just kind of adds to it, you know. He does that little nasally voice that he does. Sounds cool, you know. It's always cool to hear Kendrick do a little bit of singing. And finally, the last track on the project, Win, my second favorite song. This track is meant to be played as loud as it can be played, no matter where you are. If you're in church and this song comes on, for some reason you're listening to music in church, you're supposed to play it as loud as it goes. If you're in the gym and this song comes on, play it as loud as you can. If they're playing the song in a stadium and they're not turning it up to max volume, they're doing it wrong. Because this track is awesome. It's not incredible, it's not great. The word that I would use to describe it is awesome. It gets you hyped, it gets you motivated, it gets you amped up. It feels like you can do anything when you listen to this track. Kendrick Lamar's ad-libs are absolutely hilarious. Why would you scream mommy in the middle of a song? I don't know, but when Kendrick does it, it sounds cool because it's in his voice. This track, let's say you're an athlete and you play this before your game, you're winning. That's it. If you need to carry your team by yourself, you're gonna win. Because this song will get you so hyped, you can do anything. The beat is absolutely fantastic, the bass line is so fire, the horns are absolutely what makes this beat so motivating and so incredible. It almost sounds heavenly, really. Just like, it sounds like all the doors ever in your life are just wide open for you now, and all you have to do is just charge through them as fast as possible. It's definitely an epic song, a great way to end this project off. My thoughts on this project as a whole, I definitely want to go back and listen to it again. It's definitely made me interested in J-Rock as an artist. I do want to hear some more of his stuff. I thought this project was great, really. There were no bad songs, there were no okay songs. I enjoyed this more than I enjoyed Drake's album, if I'm being honest. I'm definitely glad that even though I kind of waited a little bit to do this review, I did do the review. I'm very glad to have listened to this, and again, I will go back and listen to it. I do want to get more opinions on these tracks. Let me know what you guys think about the tracks in the comments section, or you can hit me up on all my social media. That's our video. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you all so much. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you are not subscribed and you enjoyed the video, you might as well subscribe, join the family, and we'll keep providing content. Like I said, we're basically on a 2-video-a-week schedule right now, but I will be ramping it up. An idea that I had, now that I'm doing reviews instead of reactions, because I don't have my speaker yet, and even when I do get my speaker back, I'll be able to still do review videos for albums that I have heard, for older albums that I don't necessarily have to react to. 2014 Forest Hills Drive, for example. I cannot make a reaction video because I've heard that album more times than I can count, but I can make a video of my review to that project and put it up for you guys to understand how I feel about all the tracks, detailed, track by track. I think you guys might enjoy that. Let me know what you guys think and what older albums that I might have already listened to that you guys would still want to see a review of. I could do one for Rodeo, I could do one for Birds on the Track. I know a lot of you guys have been recommending those albums and I keep saying I've already listened to it, so I can't make a reaction video. I can, however, do a review video. Let me know what you guys think about the idea. Let me know what albums you guys want reactions to, reviews to. And again, thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back very soon. As always, I'm Doug, you guys are the viewers. Peace.